It's great to be here. Great crowd. Fantastic night so far.
Love the crowd here at Houston Fieldhouse, one of the older arenas in all of college hockey. And one of those arenas, Lake Placid, is where the tournament's been held the last number of years. Now women's hockey will be playing their tournament there as well.
It's fantastic. It's something, obviously, it's been a great partnership for the men's side for a long time. Bringing the women to Lake Placid, I think, for us is something that's a natural fit. Chad Cassidy and the people at Order do a fantastic job. And for us, we think it's a wonderful opportunity for the student athletes, and we want to make sure that the men and women have a fantastic experience.
And for the men's side, that is also secured for a longer term. How exciting is it to remain at the facility?
Well, I think for us, it's been a really, really successful venue. Of course, the last couple of years, we've had fantastic crowds, but that's been something that's been built for a long time. And we know that the people who come there are going to have a fantastic experience. And whether your team wins, loses, whatever it is, Lake Placid speaks for itself. Whatever you want to do in the town, it's a great weekend, and people really seem to enjoy it.
Beautiful town. You can feel the ghosts in that building when you walk in, right?
For sure, it's a hockey town. I mean, I was just saying, as I was walking up here, the longest line in the concession stand was the ice cream, which tells you it's a hockey town. When the weather's changing and everybody's waiting to get ice cream, you know it's a hockey town, and Lake Placid is no different.
No different. Beautiful arena. A lot of history there. ECAC's been there now for the last number of years. And one of those teams in Conference Union, they have some stuff going on across town.
Yeah, well, for us, I mean, Union College is hosting the women's icebreaker. Steve Metcalf, the commissioner of Hockey East, we have all of the women's commissioners in Schenectady right now. And then we have the officials coordinators there too, talking about rules, looking at officials, and obviously trying to make sure that we have a little bit of data so far as our season, but making sure that what happens ahead, we're as informed as we possibly can be, and also be long-term thinking for what we want to see women's hockey looking at 2, 3, 4 years. And of course, while we're here too, we're also able to talk men's hockey while we're sitting with Steve Metcalf looking at this great game.
And for the folks that don't know what the icebreaker is, can you explain that for them?
Certainly. So it's a representative of 4 different conferences. This year you have the NUHA with St. Anselm, Union College representing ECAC hockey, Vermont from Hockey East, and Wisconsin from the WCHA. So every single year at the beginning of the year, it's a tournament that kicks off the season. Of course, it's not right at the start of the season, but it's something that gets different groups of people from all around the country together. And I think it's a great celebration of hockey. Last night there was a get-together for the officials, coordinators, the coaches, the NCAA, all of those different people in town. And I think it's good for people to see each other, not just on Zoom calls or in meetings, but in a social setting where they get to know each other better. A
lot of great events going on with this conference. With all the changes going on in college hockey, what is the strengths of the ECAC conference?
I think it's really simple. We lean into who we are. We graduate fantastic people who can go on and play in the NHL, or they can be an NHL general manager, or they can wind up being anything they want to be. They want to be an entrepreneur. You look at the leadership of hockey. You've got the general manager of the defending Stanley Cup champion played in our league. You've got the Prime Minister of Canada also played in our league. So the range and depth of what you want to be able to do, anything you want to be able to do, you can accomplish coming through our league, and that's what we really lean into.
Penalty here, so RPI will be on the power play. Doug, I invite you to stick on for a moment if you like.
Of course. Hopefully a power play goal here. That'd be fantastic.
So Sitar's here at center. He's facing off against Gasso. What's the relationship been like with the ECAC and Hockey East?
I think it's been really good. Steve Metcalf's been fantastic. Their commissioner, Kate McAfee, their assistant commissioner, she's been absolutely wonderful to work with. We've got a really good partnership. We know that it's incumbent upon us to grow hockey, college hockey in the East, and I think we really try to do that. You know, obviously there's moments where we put on our conference hat and want to do everything that we can for our conference, but at the same time we recognize that if we do a nice job here promoting RPI on SNY, that helps Boston College and vice versa. Right now tonight, obviously Quinnipiac and Maine are on TV too. So the things that we're able to work on together is important, and that grows our game.
I'll tell you, I was a student at Quinnipiac when they won the national championship. They went to a few before then. A lot of representation for the ECAC in the Frozen Four for the last decade. Is it great to see not only the students succeed as academics, but also on the ice?
No question. I mean, for me, at the end of the day, of course, there's an academic component, but right now these guys are doing what they want to do their entire life. They want to play hockey, they want to grow, and they want to be part of a team. And I think that that's so important in terms of the development of the person. It's not just the growth that you have in the classroom, it's the growth that you have coming back from a road trip and finding a way to study or go to a lift or prepare the next day for a new opponent after a tough loss or a big win. All those things are about the development of a person. And for us as a league, we want to make sure we're maximizing that. And hopefully these guys go on to play in the NHL and fulfill their dream. But whenever that's done, they know that they've got something to fall back on. Wow, great champs there.
Oh, Wallace right there on the doorstep as Wilson carries at the hashes. Across for Buckley on a one-timer. Fortescue clears this out. Certainly a great contest so far tonight. Do you try and get into as many buildings as you can during the season?
I do. I'll see all 24 teams play. I'll get to all 12 campuses. For me, I love hockey. I'm no different than Fridge. I'm a lifer. And so for me, it's something where coming here tonight, I was at Notre Dame last night for the St. Lawrence game. Obviously, I saw the women's game today at Union. And then tomorrow, I'll see 3 games. So for me, I love seeing the game. I love seeing the different wrinkles. Cornell women last year had some of the best face-off plays that I saw all year. And so it's just fun. You see those little wrinkles that happen. And you want to do everything they can, understand what the players are doing and what the coaches are trying to do, so that as we're talking about the growth of the game, the style of the game, whether that's officiating or anything else, that we're as informed as we can be.
I didn't know that was part of the process, is knowing officiating and things of that nature. Is that also something you talk about consistently?
I'll tell you one thing, the coaches find you after the weekend with the officiating. And so obviously being as knowledgeable as we can and making sure that we understand what our coaches are seeing, not only in our own conference.
And Boston College finds the back of the net. I believe that was Will Vogt with the shot.
It's a nice play from behind the net.
Jake Sondrial. Yeah, what did you see there?
I mean, the puck gets rimmed down. Obviously, it's a difficult play just on the far side of the post. Goaltender shifting sides, and they find the guy back from the same side the puck came from. Not much the goalie could do. Nice play by BC.
Jake Sondrial finds the back of the cage. The assist from Letourneau on a one-time shot, and Boston College takes a 2-1 lead.
What I really liked seeing from the Engineers in the first period, after BC scored that goal, they had a really nice response. They had 2 or 3 shifts. Puck was down low. They played in behind the defenseman. It wasn't the kind of thing that generated a ton of offense, but it took away the momentum that BC had. So obviously a crucial few minutes here for RPI.
I'm sure it was a lot of work at the start of the season to get everything prepared for this year. Do you enjoy some of the fruits of the labor now?
I do. I mean, I think the fact that, if you're in Manhattan tonight and you're watching this game, it's Nick Zerbinski in our office who's doing all the work and to ensure that these games can get on TV, and Christy Bowers ensuring that RPI and RPI TV can work on it to bring it all together. So, those opportunities, all we can do is try to create a platform for our student athletes, and tonight we have that platform. So for me, I love that part of it. I know how impactful and how enjoyable these 4 years are playing in the league, having played in the league myself. And if we can make it 1% better, just a little bit better, and what's already a fantastic experience for all these players, we're lucky to be able to do that, and that's what we're trying to do.
You were on the ice as an athlete, as you just mentioned. Is there any part of you that looks back on that experience and you try and look at the things that you wish you had as a player?
I mean, I think there's always that element of, you would have loved more of the amenities that some of these players have. But, I was really fortunate that some of my best friends, some of my groomsmen were players that I played with in college. Some of the best experiences I had in my life were in college. So I don't think for me there's much I would change. I think for me it's trying to give to these players as much as we can the things that I was fortunate to be able to have. And I think, I was just down with Matt Murley. He played at RPI when I was at Union, and we were just talking about how special that time was and how important that time was. And I think for me that's something that we want to kind of make sure that the players have now. For me, obviously there's things that you'd like to change, but all in all, I was incredibly fortunate to be able to play in our league and be able to play really great hockey and meet some incredible people along the way.
Yeah, they made some major renovations to that new rink over at Union, and next year we'll see some renovations here at the Fieldhouse as they start more projects with that. It seems to me like they're trying to keep that classic look but also update things around the league.
Well, I think from my standpoint, you look at our league, you know, everybody talks about the changes in college hockey and college athletics, but the investment that our schools are making into the facilities, into the rinks, into the weight rooms, into the locker rooms are absolutely fantastic. And you just go through league, I mean, Yale's putting in money this past year, Princeton put in money, Dartmouth's going through a whole renovation right now. You look over and over and over all throughout our league, and I think that that's what we want to make sure that we're accentuating, is the fact that our schools are investing in the players and investing in the student athletes on and off the ice, and that's what we want to make sure that we're amplifying, because it does take money, it does take resources, and our schools are definitely willing to commit to it for men and women.
That's great to hear about how much is being invested into not only the athletes, but as you mentioned, you know, the facilities and resources as well. Stoppage of play here, the 12:17 mark. I feel like time's flying with you here in the booth. Well,
you know what? I got to give Fridge a break here for a couple minutes. He can come in and tap me out and take me out of the lineup here any minute. But jokes aside, this is great. It's a great crowd. It's a big matchup. Coach Lang's done a fantastic job early in the season. Obviously, lots of new faces, and you know, BC is one of the top teams in the country. Great crowd to be able to see. Hopefully, a great second half of tonight's game, and RPI to get another one here and make it really interesting, because they played a really nice game so far.
They've been playing really well through the first 2 weeks of hockey here at the Houston Fieldhouse, and as you mentioned as well, the TV deal here with SNY, we have a student production crew, so it truly is an incredible opportunity for our staff here.
Well, it's something obviously everybody's learning their craft and trying to grow, and for us, for them to get that opportunity. So if they're from New York State, or Connecticut or New Jersey, their family can watch their work at home right now tonight. So it's fun for us to be able to help not only the players, but the people behind the scenes who are working on it as well.
Are there any other ventures later in the season coming about for the league?
I think for us, I mean, we've got a lot in terms of with Lake Placid. Obviously, the SNY piece. We're now on Sirius XM radio on the weekends, on Hockey Prospect Radio. You know, we're trying to give the opportunities to the coaches and players to be able to talk about their programs. We also have, you know, an interview series with Pierre McGuire, and he's been fantastic. He profiles our coaches, gets to, you know, find out what makes them tick, and Pierre McGuire is about as good of an interviewer as there is in hockey. And his ability to be able to pull out that information and see the real side of the coaches, I think is really, really good. And, you know, if you're a potential recruit, you're a donor, you're an alum, you get to take a little bit of time and learn about the coach of your school or the potential coach of your player. And I think that that's something for us that we really like, because, you know, our coaches are absolutely fantastic, and they genuinely care about the people in our league. And when they get talking, and you just sit back and listen and say, wow, this person's fantastic. And the players who are there are really fortunate to have them.
Media outlets are great here at the ECAC, and as you mentioned, Pierre, I mean, if you know hockey, you know Pierre McGuire. Have you had an opportunity to really sit and talk with him?
I've had the extreme pleasure a number of times. He's worked our men's and women's championships the last 2 years. So we've had dinners, we've had lunches, we've had breakfast, we've had coffee, we've had you know, the ability to just talk hockey, debrief, you know, things that we're doing, and also for us to be able to learn from him. I mean, he's covered Olympics, Stanley Cup playoffs, he's coached, I mean, he's done it all. And so to be able to soak up some of his knowledge helps make us better. You know, it might just be something on a broadcast, or it might be something, you know, talking about, you know, I saw this promotion, or I saw this opportunity, or I think that this could be something that works for you. And I think that that's something that makes us better, not only in the short term, but also in the long term.
So always looking to improve, always looking to improve. And this game, again, as I mentioned before, it seems like it's flying by. We're already at the 10-minute mark here at the second period. 2-1 BC. I'm here with ECAC Commissioner Doug Christiansen. A lot of fans packing the field house. Well, it was a pleasure to have you on the broadcast tonight. Thanks so much for joining me here in the booth.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Have a great night.
Hey, don't be afraid. Stop by.
I'll be back. Thank